Hey, is that folk music that you play there? What is that? How do you call that folk music?
I think it was Studs Terkel who asked Big Bill Brunzi, did he consider his blues music to be folk music? And Big Bill says, well, never heard no horse.
Shoo bob shooby doo doo booby doo dow.
And the shot rang out. Bang!
Hot dog.
Don't hesitate. It could be your ticket to a new tomorrow.
There's a lesson that I'm learning, and it has to do with time. When I'm rushed at work or in my truck, I'm not too peaceful, not too kind. And when I'm in a hurry to make life a better place, it don't seem too productive in my particular case. Oh, time, why do you rush me? Oh, mind slow down. 'Cause when I can take it easy, life's answers to my problems come around. Now I know that it don't help me, it don't help no one when I rush around like a madman. It's out of balance, it ain't no fun. That is why I'm searching deep inside of me for my secret beliefs about time, from which I can set me free. Oh, time, why do you rush me? Oh, mind, slow down. 'Cause when I can take it easy, life's answers to my problems come around. Caught my own film at it with my little kids. Hurry up or we'll be late, just like my parents did. Now I don't think it's important to always be on time, but I do think it's important to live my life with a relaxed mind. Oh, time, why do you rush me? Oh, mind, slow down. 'Cause when I can take it easy, life's answers to my problems come around. Now I don't want to hurt no feelings, I always aim to please, and I think that's part of the problem, but all my worry won't give you no ease. So if I cannot plan it to arrive relaxed on time, I hope that you'll forgive me for trying to find some peace of mind. Oh, time, why do you rush me? Oh, mind, slow down. 'Cause when I can take it easy, life's answers to my problems come around. Hey, hey. My name's Ralph Litwin. We're here on Horses Sing None of It with our special guest for today, Juxtures. And that is Steve and Elaine Riccardelli right here helping me out on that song, making it sound real good.
Doing our best.
And why don't you tell me where you guys come from?
Well, right now we come from Phillipsburg, New Jersey, which is way out west on the Delaware River. But I'm originally from Nutley. Elaine's originally from Kenilworth, so we're Jersey folks.
Jersey born and bred.
Jersey born and bred. Yes, yes.
All right. And how did you guys come together in a musical
way?
configuration?
Actually, the same way we came together personally. I mean, before we were married, we met. Elaine, we were working freelancing, and Elaine needed a pianist, and she was singing, and magic was born.
The hired hand, huh?
Yeah, the hired hand. Yes. Actually, when I tell everybody, we met through a newspaper ad because I was in between gigs and happened to see in a Star Ledger ad, which I just happened to check. It said pianist wanted, and I found her. So.
Amazing.
He sounded like a really nice guy and everything. My girlfriend that I was performing with at the time, we were like, well, he's Italian. How good of a jazz musician can he be? Yeah. And so we walked into the club he invited us into that he was playing at, and the place was smoking. It was just jamming. And we were like, wow, I wonder who's playing. And so we walked in and found out that it was him. So we went to being really cocky about, well, maybe we'll let him play for us to, gee, I wonder if he'll give us a shot.
We have a lot of fun mixing people up with various, ethnic and cultural things. We show up and we do what we do now with this show. Just to give you an idea of how Juxtures was born, is Elaine started doing some African storytelling and some other storytelling for some libraries and various children's groups. And I've always been interested in film scoring and various things. And I said, this might be fun to add some music for it. And one thing grew into another. And I always give her the credit because it was her pushing to say, hey, look, we got something here that could really be something different. So what we've done now is kind of create what we call an international variety show. It mixes any style of music we want to do. As you'll see later, we do a unique type of combining storytelling with live music, almost like a live film effect. We do dances. We do a lot of festivals where we get people up playing all these instruments with us and doing Caribbean African dances, and we do a little of everything. So it's
right.
become a venue where we can do anything we want, and we even perform with people like you. So.
Yeah, man. I've seen these guys perform, and that's why I invited them on, because they were great. So why don't you share with us a piece of music here?
Okay, we're going to do our opening and our theme song.
All right. Take it away.
Thank you.
Right here on Horses Sing None of It.
Did you hear the horses in there? We sampled them on the way over here.
That was like outer space music and African music all wrapped up in one. It was
Well,
cool.
I figured that captures the essence of who
That is
we
what
are.
we try to do. You know, we try to mix a little of everything. You know, I've even sampled some traditional African chanters and singers, and then done like folk songs with it in my keyboard, and just to have fun. You know, we get slapped a lot, but.
So, what kind of venues do you tend to play in?
Oh. Festivals, concert settings in theaters, universities, elementary schools, libraries, museums.
Yeah, and right now
covers everything.
and we're working on now developing more of our own stage show. We're producing some more of our own shows, trying to get involved in larger theater venues where we can. Well, we've been told by some people that the concept, when we do our larger shows, it's sort of, one of my inspirations was Garrison Keillor's Prairie Home Companion, believe it or not. Not so much in the musical styles, although I dug the music, but the idea of this sort of almost a really unique variety show.
Yeah.
And that's really what we're working towards, and even including some other musicians occasionally, Elaine's dance troupe, various things. You know, so we might do a real serious, dramatic African piece, and then do a really like a satirical bluegrass song or something, and then just do some straight poetry, and various things. So our show really is built around giving us an opportunity to do whatever we want to do. And,
That's what makes it a lot of fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Why don't we show the address and telephone number where folks can get in touch with Juxtures, and why don't you say it while they're showing it?
Okay, it's Juxtures, Steve and Elaine Riccardelli, and that's area code 908-859-4309, for those of you who can't read. And if you want to write to us or send something to us, legal of course, Post Office Box 5335, Phillipsburg, New Jersey, 08865.
Great. We're going to take a little break for a public service announcement right now, and we'll come back in a minute and hear some kind of story, I understand.
Okay.
All right?
Hey, howdy! You can win this swell set of recordings by artists who have appeared on Horses Sing None of It, simply by sending your name, address, and telephone number to me, Ralph Litwin. Horses Sing None of It, 140 Morris Street in Morristown, New Jersey, 07960. You can win recordings by the amazing, incredible Liza DiSavino, Dennis Dougherty, Margot Hennebach, Juggernaut String Band, Dave Kleiner, Ansel Matthews, Kathy Moser, Patrick Regan, Elaine Silver, New Jersey Songwriters Circle, and these two albums by me, Ralph Litwin. To win, send your name, address, and telephone number to Ralph Litwin, Horses Sing None of It, 140 Morris Street, Morristown, New Jersey, 07960. Aha!
Long ago, in Japan there stood a mighty mountain. At the bottom of that mountain, there was a beach and a great ocean. On the beach, there was a hut, and in that hut lived a fisherman, his wife, and their brand newborn baby. This child had been waited for quite some time and found itself born into a family with great, great love. From time to time, the fisherman would go out onto the ocean to make a catch. And during those times, neighbors sometimes would come along and ask the fisherman's wife if she cared to go picking shells with them. And on one day, she said yes. She picked up her basket, took her child, placed the child on her back, and out they all ventured to the beach. And as they were gathering shells here and there, all at once, they noticed movement at the far, far end of the beach. Curiosity got the better of them, and they decided they would go and see what that movement was. And as they drew closer, and closer. All at once, the neighbors recognized the form. It was a monkey, the very same monkey that had been stealing from their farms. They decided at that moment that they would kill it. Picked up stones and sticks, ran as fast as they could toward the monkey. The fisherman's wife, who was exceedingly kind-hearted, ran ahead of them and bent down to protect the poor monkey and said, "No, please, I'm sure that it needs our help." Surely enough, upon closer inspection, the fisherman's wife found that the monkey had his hand wedged deeply inside of a conch shell. For you see, the monkey had been digging in it for its supper. The fisherman's wife knelt down, looked the monkey square in the eyes and said, "If I help you, do you promise never ever to steal from our farms again?" And the monkey seemed to have understood. So the fisherman's wife stood up, went over to a large rock that lay nearby, took the child from her back, placed it upon the rock, went back over to the monkey, and ever so gently pulled and pulled and pulled until the monkey's hand was free. But now that the monkey had gained its freedom, he ran directly over to the rock where the baby lay, scooped the child up in its arms, and took off, running far and fast into the mountains. The fisherman's wife stood with tears streaming down her face. Why would the monkey do such a thing after I've been so kind? The neighbors said, "We told you, you should have let us kill that monkey when we had the chance." And they took off running after the monkey, but they found the monkey was much, much too fast. And they watched helplessly as the monkey climbed with the child in tow to the uppermost branches of a great tree. And as they stood watching, their eyes gazed just a bit further above the tree, where they found 5 eagles anxiously circling. The first of the eagles swooped down toward the monkey and the baby, trying to snatch away the child. The monkey tore a limb from the tree and beat the eagle until it was dead, and did the same thing with the second eagle, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. And finally, when all 5 birds lay dead at the base of the tree, it was then that the fisherman's wife and the neighbors understood. This was the monkey's way of repaying kindness for the kindness shown to him. For you see, the monkey had seen those very eagles circling above the rock where the baby lay. And after the fisherman's wife had been so very, very good to him, he wanted no harm to come to this loved one. Now that all was safe, the monkey climbed down from the tree with the greatest of care, handed the fisherman's wife back her child, stepped backward, smiled, waved, turned, ran even further into the mountains, turned once again, waved once more, smiled, and disappeared into thin air. And the monkey was never seen again.
Yow! And here's the monkey now.
That's great.
Thank you.
It's one of my favorite Japanese folk tales.
The idea that we're trying to do, which we're in the process now, we got a little bit delayed, but we're trying to put some tapes together and some video work where it'll be more applicable there. But we're almost trying to get, we call it a living film, where we're trying to have almost the effect that you're kind of listening to a CD or watching a film and seeing what's going on. But we like doing it live. It makes it exciting. So hopefully it works.
I'm curious individually how each of you got interested in performing.
Oh my. As far as storytelling goes, my grandfather was a wonderful storyteller.
Oh, really?
He owned a bar and restaurant in Kenilworth. It was the only black-owned establishment. Kenilworth is about this big. And so he would just hold court. I mean, he could make eating a bowl of cereal sound like the most hysterical event, and you know, so that really piqued my interest. And when he got together with the rest of his brothers, excuse me, it was really just a major event. How they would just talk about the different tales they heard growing up, and so forth. And with the singing, that just kind of developed as a teenager, and interest in theater also from there.
I've been one of those kids who started out playing the accordion when I was 6, like all good little Italian boys. And now, thanks to a lot of Zydeco and everything's back in fashion. So for a while, it was only Lawrence Welk or the accordion.
You still do a squeeze box?
I still do. In fact, I have a really classic old one with all these carvings and stones all over it that I use in our act, but it's a little brittle, so I didn't want to take a chance. Then I just studied organ and piano. I have a degree in jazz studies from William Patterson. I went to the jazz program there. I've done a lot of graduate work in composition. I'm from that real schooled musician, but I just always dug all sorts of folk music and world music. And what I like about the act we're doing is it gives me a chance to sort of do live composing in a sense. That's why I like using, even though I'm primarily an acoustic pianist, but with the new keyboards, for the kind of act that we're doing, I can pretty much have everything at my disposal, and it becomes a real challenge for me. I also try to do everything live, so I'm not, playing along with sequencing or anything. And I want to do everything as challenging as I can, and so it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, there are people who really have a hard time believing that Steve is actually playing this. They think everything is pre-programmed. Sometimes I have to come up to him afterwards and check it out.
Let's find out from the people here in the back room exactly how much time we have left, so that we can plan our...
I have some vitamins to sell if we have some time.
We've got 3 minutes. Sounds like just enough time to do our little jam session piece.
We're going to do it's a story
about that quick,
called The Snake.
The Snake, it's based on Aesop's fable.
Yes. Right. Yeah. This is sort of our urban version of it, if you will.
Taking a walk in the woods, and he was enjoying the sunshine and didn't mind the fact that it was a cold, brittle winter day. And as he was walking along, he looked down and noticed that there was a stick alongside the road. As he looked closer, he realized it wasn't a stick at all. Oh no, it was a snake that was frozen solid. And the only thing able to move on the snake were its eyeballs and its tongue. And it said, "Oh, please help me. If you don't help me, I'll surely freeze to death and die. Please have pity on me." And the man looked down and said, "You're a snake. Why should I help you?" And the snake said, "Oh, well, just think of what it would be like if you were in my predicament. Now, if you would just pick me up and tuck me inside the warmth of your coat, I'll be saved. Please have pity. I promise no harm will come to you." Well, the man took pity on the snake, and he bent down and picked up the snake and sure enough tucked it down inside the warmth of his coat. And sure enough, the snake began to thaw out and swirl all around the man's body in its warmth. "Woo, that feels so good," the snake said. And then the snake popped his head out, smiled at the man, and bit the man in the face. And as the man began to die, he said to the snake, "I helped you. Why did you do that to me?" And the snake said, "You knew I was a snake when you picked me up."
Thanks for being on Horses Sing None of It. It was fun having you on.
Thank you. Enjoyed it.
Here's one time it doesn't matter who your neighbor is. Here's the other. Life's too short. Stop the hate.